You're welcome, Choi. If a tooth is buccally tilted on a candidate class 1 or 2, do we use rot wire? And if, okay, so that, yeah, potentially, yeah. And even if you try to address the height of contour by making it less of a buccal tilt, and you still find that it created, and I'm going to go to my blackboard again, Omar, our new dad, and I'm going to draw that kind of a crude geometric shape where there's a severe tilt like this, and no matter what you do to that height of contour on the buccal, you just have so much undercut. First, again, I'm not going to use infrabulge class, okay? So I'm going to use superbulge. Kennedy 1 or 2 situation with a distal extension, yeah, I'm going to try to use rot wire because that's the only option I have now. I can't do RPI. You know, I have some superbulge class I could do, but with a distal extension, I want to use rot wire, putting that rest still on the mesial occlusal. Okay? Does that answer? Does that answer your question, old dad? There is a... No, I'm not going to mention it because it's just going to... You don't need to know it now. Do I have to mention it now that I've kind of mentioned it? When drawing a design with a facing, is there a minimum width its connection to the major connector it needs to be? That's a great question. If you look at... Does she have any spacing example? I think she did on a class 3. So now, I'm not sure the width. So I'm going to draw this too because I'm not sure in what aspect of the spacing you mean the width. Actually, I'm going to put one up here. I have one already. Ta-da, another high-tech. Except, okay, got it. Great, so if you look, everyone see that okay? So Ari said 6 millimeters from ginger margin on maxillary, 4 millimeters from ginger margin mandibular. So that's correct when you're looking at this distance, okay? And everyone see that okay? I can see it okay on my other computer. So that should be this being mandibular arch. And again, another reason why I want to identify this as maxillary versus mandibular arch during the exam or any kind of situation. So that should be about 4, okay? Now, the question relates to the connector or the connection between the facing, which is here, to the major connector. So width-wise, are you talking about this width? I'm going to say A. Well, I guess that's the only width you are considering because this is really, as long as it needs to be, going to the dentures area. Yeah, so that width, it depends on this edentulous area. So if this width was, let's say, from height of contour of 22 to the height of contour of 25, I think I'm counting right, or 24, is 5 millimeters, that should extend so that this line is basically parallel to that confined space, okay? Obviously, you don't want to have something like this where any kind of narrowing of the width there is going to weaken the connection. Now, if you think about a minimum width, it's usually 4 millimeters, and that's based on studies saying, you know, at what point does the metal start to actually give? And they came up with that number, 4 millimeters. And oftentimes, when you see some of these dentures errors and you're doing a facing, even the smallest teeth being anterior mandibular teeth, you do have that 4 millimeters. If you don't, then obviously what you'll see is this width being much narrower. So there, you can't consider a facing perhaps And again, you go back to the drawing board. Can I move the teeth? Can I maybe not put a tooth there at all? One of those two things to kind of adjust that limitation of space. Does that answer your question about the width of the connector? So I would say 4 millimeters of width at the minimum. It should basically conform to the space that we have. Huh? I don't know. Yeah, I'll be right back.